Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Legends of the Outdoors TV. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Boyd Duckett. Boyd, man, thanks for having us on Lake Guntersville.
Yes, sir, man. Looking forward to it. We're out here. We're going to try to catch a bass, and more importantly, get caught up on a little bit on what you and I like, which is spending time in the outdoors. We get to fish together.
Yeah, it's a first for us.
Yeah, it's a first. I know. I know, and haven't had a chance to go fishing. So we hope we have a good show, but more importantly, we're going to have a good time. So
absolutely,
that's what it's about for us.
It is, and you know what? I've been waiting for 2 weeks to get back down here and fish with you, and man, this is great. I appreciate you taking us, and you know, thanks to Larry Rankin and Brad Abelman and all of them that work for Duckett Fishing and have this opportunity to get to share time with all of you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Man, let's go do it.
Yeah, man, let's see if we can catch a fish.
Stick around, folks. We're going to see what we catch.
5 a.m. can't come soon enough for folks like these. There's more than just a job to do, so they hit their knees. They sure take pride in everything they do. And there's no challenge that they won't work through. So they tirelessly keep going on. They work their fingers to the bone. They spend way too much time in the field and away from home. You can be sure they know what all this hard work is for. So now we honor you as legends of the outdoors.
Yeah, got him. There's one.
Got him? Mm-hmm. He run over and got off mine and went to Boyd.
That's what it is.
They know who the good guys are. Don't they? What do you got there, Mr. Duckett?
Well, it appears to be a large mouth and not a white bass. Oh, pretty good one too, I might add.
Old guys, I'm going to be horsing that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good Guntersville fish.
I'm one of them old tournament guys that we don't get to use nets, so I'm not even used to having one. I don't even know to reach for one.
There you go.
We just wear him down and put our hands on him.
Yeah. Man, that's a pretty.
Takes a minute, yeah. Man, smoke this little 3-inch subtle tail. It's a. He is, yeah. I got him on 8-pound line, so I got to go easy because it's a good one. Oh yeah! Oh. God, look at that fat fish.
That is a fat.
That is a fat, healthy fish.
And look at the lines on him. And he'll get prettier this spring.
He will get prettier.
I want you to show the camera what you caught him on.
Absolutely.
That bait.
So this little bait, we're using the forward-facing technology because it exists and we enjoy doing it. But some of these pre-spawn fish, this fish hasn't spawned yet. You see that big fat? It's a female. And they just get out here in front of these spawning bays and they'll suspend around bait balls. So really what we've done, we've gone and we found some bait balls just off the river channel here, and that's just one of those suspended females feeding up.
What will that fish weigh?
This fish, yeah, probably 4, feel it.
Pretty chunky.
Yeah, that's a chunk. I mean, these Guntersville bass are football players. They're heavy fish. So
I'm holding Boyd Duckett's fish.
Yeah, that's,
okay? We'll put her back in the water and let her go.
There you go.
Beautiful Guntersville fish.
Beautiful Guntersville fish. But some kind of little minnow imitator. We're throwing this 3-inch subtle tail. Of course, we've had the subtle tail swim bait for several years in a 4.5 and a 3.8. We came out with this little 3-inch, and it mimics just a little shad perfectly. And man, we're selling a bunch of these right now. They're catching them all over the country on this. So
I love paddle tail lures.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I crappie fish a lot with Charlie Brewer slider grubs. Been doing it for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Love those baits. And you know, you can put these on the back of a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
Yeah. Chatterbait trailer.
Chatterbait,
yeah. Chatterbait trailer. One of the things in this subtle tail I'll show it to you. Well, you can look at it when you get it back in, but it has just a little tiny tail, and it almost does nothing.
Really?
Yeah, just barely quivers, which is way different from like the Kitech style, bigger boot tail type things. And I think that's a real key for these open water fish, is it just does very little if you swim it by.
Well, I know we're throwing it on spinning tackle.
Throwing it on spinning tackle.
Light line.
Yep, light line, 8-pound line, 1/4 ounce heads, and just trying to run into one of them.
This portion of Legends of the Outdoors is brought to you by Woodhaven Custom Calls, America's best turkey and deer calls. Game Hide, one brand, every season. Woody's, national award-winning barbecue, dry rub, and seasoning. So get to grilling with Woody's.
Boy, we was talking about a while ago, you know, how long we've been on Earl's fishing team together, and also you sell Camus boats here at Guntersville. You got a boat dealership, you got a rod and reel company, you got a bait and tackle company. But you know, high school and college fishing is coming along. A lot of the pros now are coming out of, especially the college, but some of them now even coming out of high school, straight out of high school. But how did you get your start? I mean, that wasn't around when you come along.
It wasn't around, you know, and it's different, but you know, bass fishing's always been around. It was harder to learn, and it was different. So those of us that took the longer road to becoming a pro, it's because information, you know, it took 10 or 15 years to learn the information that a lot of you know, today you can be a high school angler, and if you have an iPhone, in a month, you can read everything it took me 15 years to learn. I mean, it's just changed so much. So I think that's part of why it's easier for a younger person to get caught up on, you know, techniques and all over the country and all the different lakes and such. But I spent, you know, grew up fishing. My brother and I grew up as kids, you know, fishing in a pond and fell in love with it, and tournament fished since I was 17. Always worked, you know, you know me, I'm always starting the companies and doing different things, you know, so that's fun. That's always been a fun part of my life as well, but just followed that inevitable trail of you know, going through all the different levels, you know, the local tournaments, you know, the kind of state level stuff when I started learning how to catch them better, to regional stuff, and then, you know, finally to the pro level. So mine was a lot longer trail than it seems like it takes today, but still ended up the same place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, and you're exactly right, because back in the days when I started my guide career, wasn't nobody standing there to help you. No. You know, because they thought they might have to compete against you.
It was opposite.
And I'm sure it was a lot worse in the tournament fishing than it was in the guide career. But you're exactly right. These kids nowadays they're born with technology in their hand.
Yep.
You know, iPhones, computers, laptops, everything. And so a lot of this sonar stuff that we're seeing now, they're not having any problem learning. No. Where you and I struggle to learn it and to be good at it.
Well, they're very comfortable, so that's the easier part, or the quicker and easiest technique for them to learn, versus us who have a lifetime of different techniques, and we're probably some more resistant to put the time in to learn it. But it's you know, it's a really cool from a professional. I mean, it's a very small slice of those who fish that really successfully do it professionally.
Sure.
It's not designed to do that. But one of the cool things to me about, you know, the high school program, the college program, all the coverage, the media that is generated from the masses fishing, is what it does to create awareness of our sport and use of the outdoors. To me, that's the biggest single benefit. Absolutely. The 0.5% that become pros, you know, so be it. Yeah. But the fact that so much of the world becomes aware of our space and has a respect for our space is the positive impact. That's the big impact to me. So
yeah, I agree. You know, I recruit nationwide. I've had kids on my team from Washington State, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York.
There's one. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry to mess you up. I was busy catching one.
A largemouth.
A largemouth, yeah. There's a few of them up here.
We'll hold this conversation for just a second.
We'll get right back.
The star of the show performs his dance across the water.
That's exactly right. we did come out to catch a few of these, so we can stop just shortly when one of these is kind enough to participate. Come here, pretty girl. There we go. Another nice, healthy, chunky fish.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, these fish at Guntersville are just healthy. And that's not a large in length fish, but hold that fish and feel the shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Feel how heavy that fish is for that size. It fools people at Guntersville. You put them on the scale, it'll shock you. You know?
I don't have to catch one. All I got to do is let Boyd catch one, and he lets me hold his fish. What a deal.
Hey, that's a good thing about a team event. We both caught that. We both caught that one. That's right.
This portion of Legends of the Outdoors is brought to you by Knox County Whitetails, where you come as a client and leave as a friend. RBX Transportation. Be a name, not a number. Whitetail Almanac by Hunter's Edge. Right place, right time.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Once again, I'm fishing with Boyd Duckett. And Boyd, of course, is famous all over the world as an angler, a professional tournament angler, Bassmasters Classic winner, now the owner of Major League Fishing, and that tournament trail is doing very well. Boyd, you've got your hand in a lot of different things, but everything that points toward fishing and teaching people and helping people learn how to be better anglers.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, one of the cool things, I've worked in a lot of different industries, but, you know, as I was blessed to have some financial security and get into a position where you can make some more choices. I never wanted to quit working. I mean, I don't have no desire to do that, but to be able to shift most of my focus into the fishing space between Duckett Marine at the marine dealership and you know, getting to work with Earl and the group at Camus, which I know you know well, and then Duckett Fishing, and we have a lot of fun creating products. You know, Major League Fishing takes a ton of time, but that's also something that is really rewarding to me to get an opportunity and at several levels. Obviously at the pro level, you know, the goal is to try to build a platform that's better than we've had, better than I grew up with. The young people we talked about, these young guys coming into tournament fish, you know, I'd love to see them, you know, have paychecks larger than we ever were able to. So that's kind of the driver there, and it's just, it's working, but it's kind of like what me and you do. When you get to work in an outdoor space, it ain't so bad.
It ain't bad.
It ain't bad, you know?
Think about all those folks that look out the window every day, and they may love their jobs or they may not, but they look out the window and wish that they could be doing what we do, and they don't see a lot of the background stuff that we have to do, the cleaning the boats, the you know, getting tackle ready, and you know, or if you're guiding hunting or going hunting or something, all the background stuff that we do. But man, the end result is I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm just like you. I never want to quit doing what I'm doing. People ask me all the time, well, when are you going to retire from this, or when are you going to retire from that? I said, you know, what am I going to retire for? So bad I have to holler 3 instead of 4.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we could retire, but then what we can do is go hunt and fish.
I go hunt and fish.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I'd much rather get paid to do it than not get paid to do it.
You're right. Yeah. About like Larry Rankin, that was our vice president and general manager at Duckett Fishing for a long time. So he's in the fishing space. So he retired. You know what he does every day? He hunts and fishes. So yeah, that's exactly right. He didn't get very far from it. Except for a lot more stuff dies than it used to. I will say that. Yeah. Because there's more hours for that.
There's more scared turkeys.
Yeah, there's more
waiting on Larry to get there.
Yeah, that's right. More scared turkeys, deer, ducks. Yeah.
Well, you've surrounded yourself with a lot of great people. You know, Kathy Fennell and Dave Washburn and all those folks that were at FLW, Larry Rankin that you talked about. And don't tell him, but I think he's a superstar in his own right.
Yeah, we won't tell him.
No, we won't.
Don't any of y'all tell him either.
That's right. Yeah. Don't tell him. And of course, these young guns, like we talked about, Brad Abelman, who worked for you, come out of Bethel, fished for me.
Yep.
Works for you guys now. Tyler. All these young people that are coming up. Ain't it great to watch them grow?
Man, it really is. And you know, you talk about that when we go to the, you know, your annual Legends of the Outdoors. That's kind of a big annual event all of us look forward to.
Absolutely.
And when we're sitting around talking, you know, there's a lot of things. But one of the things that I think is the equally appreciated from everyone I've ever met associated with the outdoors, and certainly around your program, is the appreciation for the people, like the brotherhood of people, with the similar interest in enjoying the outdoors, and maybe I don't know if that affects the person or you already have the person and they're interested in the outdoors, but whatever reason, it marries a really cool group of people that we all love to be part of. So that definitely is a benefit to the job.
You know, you walk in that room every year, and you've been there several times, but you walk in that room and you look around this year, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag, but this year, Bill Jordan's going in, Will Primos is going in, Mike Pentecost from Woodhaven Calls is going in, Bill Carson from Johnson Outdoors is going in. And several other, Bill Cooper, famous outdoor rider from Missouri, Bill's going in. And people tell me every year, they'll say, oh man, the year Boyd Duckett went in, that was a great year. Then the next year, I think I cashed.
Oh, you're all right. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah,
but,
just real.
Say, you know, it was the best year you ever done, and then the next year it's the best year.
Yeah, every year.
It's about the men and women that are in our industry, not just Major League Fishing, not just Bassmasters, not just a tournament trail or a rod company or whatever. At the end of the day, when all these lights go out and everybody's gone from the stores and everybody's back at home, the end result is the people, and that's the ones that, to me, make our industry.
Make the difference.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
This portion of Legends of the Outdoors is brought to you by Scott Archery, CBE Ultra Arrows, Charlie Brewer Slider Company, where finesse fishing become legendary through generations of technology and soft plastic lure design. Hunter's Edge, outwit the game you hunt.
But we're getting back to the question that, you know, who influenced Boyd Duckett? Who was your heroes? Who was the guys you looked up to, or ladies?
I guess early on, as the career developed early on, it was all about tournament fishing because I love to fish so much, and I love the competition portion of the sport. I grew up outside of Charlotte, so Lake Wiley and Lake Normal kind of my home tournament trails, so or the lakes that I fished, local lakes, and we had a couple legends there. When I was a teenager trying to learn how to tournament fish, Hank Parker was, you know, from up there at Denver, and he was the superstar there on Wiley. You know, he was the local hero. Yeah, he's still a superstar, but I mean, this is early, and there was a guy named Ken Barnett that was up there at Wiley too, and those guys were just the guys to beat. And so watching, especially Hank, because and I've known him, you know, my whole career, and a large portion of his, and just
38, right?
Yeah, I guess so. He's just 38, and that makes me a lot younger than I am too. Yeah, but watching those guys that kind of were the pioneers to cross over from tournament fishing and go out into the industry and becoming more of a celebrity and a spokesperson for the space, and you know, and a positive influencer on other people. That kind of impressed me about a handful of individuals. And as time went on and it was purely tied to tournament fishing, there's a lot of great tournament anglers in my era, you know, with Denny Brower and Gary Klein and all that original group from the 70s and 80s. But then as time went on and I got more serious about tournament fishing, Kevin Van Dam was an influencer for me because I was impressed with how Kevin, the greatest angler of all time, could obviously catch them. You don't have to talk about that, but how he always managed to be a class act, and show, and was, you know, he showed young people what a professional should act like, what their moral character should be, that, you know, that side of it. So that was an influencer for me as to how to not let a single event or a single moment make you make bad decisions, you know, looking at the overall piece of it. Then as time evolved, and I got more off into, I had success as a tournament angler, became more interested in getting in the space. You know, it's funny how your heroes change.
Yeah.
Then I started looking out and recognizing people within the industry that had the same passion I had. They didn't tournament fish, but they were passionate about the space.
Right.
And I think about, you know, some of the early founders, the product founders, that were equally inspired about fishing, and their tournament win was the creation of a new bait, a new technique and things. So that then changed, you know, it's funny how that evolved.
Right.
And so I think about some of those guys that developed the early companies, and so it's just kind of been an evolution of who you really looked up and you go, man, now that I take a minute, because, you know, we live in a high-paced world.
Absolutely.
What a great accomplishment, you know, and what great passion those people have. So,
hey folks, welcome back to this segment of Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame TV, and we're standing here with Boyd Duckett. Boyd, we've had a great afternoon fishing. I appreciate you taking us out and sharing time with us, and we're going to do it again.
We're going to do it again. We had a great time this afternoon. It's amazing that after all this time, for whatever your schedule and my schedule, it's the first time we've got to get the boat together.
I promise you it won't be the last time.
It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. It was. Folks, we hope you enjoyed this segment of Legends of the Outdoors, and certainly I hope you enjoyed Boyd Duckett being here with us. This guy right here, he's amazing. He's got a lot of great things going on. Maybe next time we'll talk more about Major League Fishing and some of the new things that's going on in that arena. But until then, God bless, good fishing, and Boyd, let's go catch another one.
Let's go catch another one. I'm in.
All right, good deal.
So now we honor you as legends of the outdoors.